Welcome back to Normal Baseball. Domingo German has thrown a perfect game. I'm Alex Normal Dog. That's Lewis. And that is literally all we are going to talk about today. We know that there was maybe a couple things, but Domingo German has thrown a perfect game. And this is the first perfect game since 2012. Felix Hernandez did it in 2012. And the 24th perfect game in Major League Baseball history. Clap it up for Domingo German. In case you don't know who Domingo German is, he is a starter for the New York Yankees. No, he is not their ace, but he is a very good pitcher when he can be. When he has his stuff, he's a very good pitcher. The Yankees were in Oakland playing the Athletics last night, and Domingo went 27 up, 27 down for the 24th perfect game in Major League Baseball history. The Yankees won that game 11-0, which is the largest margin of victory for any perfect game in baseball history. I'm still in shock, if I'm going to be quite honest.
As am I.
I don't know. I still don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
And how it was all kind of a blur.
Domingo
I could not believe what I
witnessed.
Game. I could not believe what I witnessed.
I mean, just through this season, this guy has been through the trials and tribulations already, getting a 10-game ban for sticky stuff, not knowing if when the Yankees get all of their guys back, will he even crack the rotation, not knowing the future for him. And then he goes out one night in Oakland and throws a perfect game.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. His curveball was going crazy. He just had literally everything working for him, and I honestly do not care that it was against the Athletics. I think that is a very illegitimate argument.
Still a perfect game.
Still a perfect game. No one's thrown a perfect game in the last 12 years or 11 years, and there have been a lot of bad teams in the last 11 years. And my God, I mean, that is just, it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I cannot believe it. Domingo German was perfect. And I think that's exactly what the Yankees needed. They need perfection. Not quite literally in the sense of throwing a perfect game, but they needed perfection in the sense of you can't really afford to make mistakes, especially when you're missing guys and guys who you expect to be playing well or not playing well. And Domingo just absolutely revived the Yankees with that 100%. Performance last night.
100%. Domingo's had a very good season up until 2 starts ago when he gave up 7 earned runs against the Red Sox. And then the start after that against the Mariners, he gave up 10 earned runs. So in Domingo's last 2 starts leading up to the perfect game, he gave up 17 earned runs in the span of just 5 2/3 innings.
Yeah.
And then he comes out against Oakland and doesn't even think about allowing a run. Doesn't even think about it. Doesn't even think about
allowing a base runner.
No, he got ahead in pretty much every count he was in. There was a couple counts he got behind, and then he came right back. I know there was one in the 8th inning. Yeah. I think it was the 8th inning where he got down 3-1, and he just came back and struck the batter out.
Yeah, just attacked him.
He literally attacked the batter. It was incredible. Only 99 pitches needed for the perfect game. He Maddoxed the perfect game. I don't know how many times that's happened because that is very hard to do. Wild stuff. Absolutely wild stuff.
Yeah, I mean
72 strikes out of the 99. He had the zone.
Yeah.
And he had it where they weren't swinging it. Quite literally.
Honestly, I mean, when you think about it, if you were to even strike out every batter, 27 times 3, 81, right? And he did it in 99 pitches. When you think about it in that perspective, at least me personally, I think that makes it even more insane. You have to also realize the Oakland Athletics, they definitely hit themselves into outs early in the count. I believe it was like the 26th out of the 27th out was like first pitch swinging, pop fly to center field.
The last out was first pitch swinging.
Yeah, last out was first pitch swinging. Just They definitely hit themselves into outs more than anything, which, to be fair, if you want to throw a perfect game, you do need to show the batters through the order that you can get them out with or without them swinging the bat, which forces them into swing early mode to try to jump on a pitch that might be a mistake early. So, to be fair, it's the right strategy to go about swinging early, especially like close to that perfect game. Did not work. Domingo German threw a perfect game. How many times do you think we're going to say that until the year ends?
Hey, I said, why not 2 in a row? Why not? No, I'm kidding. But it was wild. Also, credit needs to be given to Kyle Higashioka, who caught this perfect game. Yeah. They called a brilliant game all around. And the Yankees defense. Yankees defense really helped them tonight, too. They had a lot of good plays. Donaldson had a lot of good plays at third. And by good plays, I mean just like, especially that last play, too. It was like a one-hopper, right to, like,
yeah.
The
amount of
no
pressure,
one messed up tonight. Or last night, rather. No one messed up.
Yeah, the amount of pressure that Donaldson had to
make that last play.
To make that last play. And the fact that he threw, like, yes, Anthony Rizzo repositioned himself, but that's just because he's a great first baseman. I cannot even imagine the way that my hairs were standing up on the back of my neck.
Agreed.
When we went into the ninth inning. The pressure that I felt for the last 3 innings leading up to that, knowing that Domingo German is genuinely flirting with perfection. It's not a fluke. This can actually happen. And then you watch that ground ball hit the third, and you see Donaldson make that play. I have to, no matter what Donaldson has been doing this season, no matter how he's been offensively or whatever, you have to tip your cap, because I can think that there are a lot of other people in baseball, a lot of other players that honestly would have choked that could choke that situation away, and Donaldson handled it professionally.
Yeah, we also can't forget about Rizzo and that beautiful play by him, that diving play in the 5th inning. Yeah. They even said it when he did it. They said, mark that down. That might be really important.
God, I love Ryan Ruocco.
It wound up being very, very important.
Yeah.
It just wild. Like I said, also largest margin of victory for any perfect game in MLB history. This is the Yankees' 4th perfect game, which gives them the all-time lead for most perfect games in franchise history. He joins Don Larson, David Cohn, David Wells,
yep,
and now Domingo German. Fourth in
wow.
Yankee history. Yeah. And he is the first Dominican to throw a perfect game as well.
It's true. I cannot believe it. So I was sitting here, right here in this chair. I was watching the Cohen press conference, doing some other things, and I had the game on in the background. And then I kept getting the notification, Domingo German, 15 consecutive retired to start the game. 21 straight retired. And I'm trying so hard to not focus on it, to not think about it, and but I'm staring at it.
You can't not look at it.
It's like, you watch baseball perfection, and it was spectacular.
It was, quite honestly, pretty terrifying.
Yeah. I cannot believe that I believe you and I can share this thought of, we went through a lot of pressure. It felt very agonizing to know, okay, here we go, another at-bat, another chance for the Oakland Athletics to break this up. That's the way that I felt about it, and
we didn't go through nearly as much pressure as Domingo German.
And that's only a fraction of the amount that Domingo German went through. And he lost his uncle a couple of days ago prior to that, and he dedicated that perfect game to him, which is, if you're a human being, that's spectacular. You know how much baseball means to guys who play baseball. It's storybook. It's so storybook, and
it's awesome.
Yes, obviously we feel bad that Domingo lost a relative of his, but then he goes out in his next outing and literally dedicates a perfect game to him.
Well, he said he almost didn't pitch. Yeah. He almost didn't pitch last night. Could you imagine? God. Could you imagine if he didn't wind up pitching last night? I mean, that would have been. This would have never happened.
I can imagine it would have been a normal day.
We would have been sitting here talking about anything else, literally anything else. This is going to be the only thing we talk about today, just because this is something that does not happen often. Again, first time since Felix Hernandez in 2012 that this has happened, and it's history. It's history. Whether you like Domingo German, whether you don't like Domingo German, he now has thrown a perfect game and is etched himself into baseball immortality.
Yeah. There will
Well,
be...
he's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
No, but there will be something that commemorates it in
100%.
Cooperstown. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
100%.
Also, Anthony Rizzo, after catching the final out at first base, keeping that ball and giving it straight to Domingo, class act, loved it. Obviously, that was
what's he going to do? Keep the
No,
ball?
obviously that was going to happen, but like class act, and then the photo that the Yankees took with everyone around Domingo German, because honestly, that perfect game with only 9 strikeouts shows, hey, it's a team effort. Yes, the pitcher has to throw the ball over the plate, but as long as that ball's in the park, you gotta do something to keep it, to keep runners off the base path, and that's exactly what the entire team did. So
yeah, I was gonna say,
congratulations, Domingo. Congratulations to the New York Yankees. It's something. It's just spectacular.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the entire team in general right there. I'm in shock. Since last night, I've been in shock.
Yeah.
Since about 12:15 in the morning, I've been in shock. So much going through the mind. You can only imagine what's going through Domingo's mind. He said that he looked up to Felix Hernandez earlier in his career when he was just drafted, and now he's the next guy up.
Yeah.
Next guy up. Wow. This is, like you were saying earlier, seemingly what the Yankees might have needed, because the Yankees, since losing Aaron Judge to that toe injury from LA, have not been playing good whatsoever. So this is kind of one of those moments where perfect game, now it feels like the team kind of has to go on a crazy run of wins.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then, I mean, that kind of sucks. Because, as a team, you would expect, this guy just threw a perfect game, pump me up, let's go, let's do this thing. Not only that, but they scored 11 runs. They scored 11 runs last night.
The offense was there. Stanton did something.
Stanton did something. Yes, against the Athletics, but you got to start somewhere. And usually, or rather, a lot of the time, when you play the bad teams, that's where you would heat up the most if you're struggling.
Yeah, that's where you find your footing.
It's a reset.
Yeah.
Just like a reset. Okay, now we're playing the bad team. Let's just go out here, have fun, win these games, and just get back in the groove of things. And hopefully that's what happened for the Yankees, because they are still, what are they? They're still 9.5 games back of first place. They're only half a game up in the wild card spot. Yeah. So the Yankees are really hoping that they can turn things around, and if they do, all credit goes to Domingo German right there, because a perfecto really gets the ball moving on the whole playing good thing. That is playing good at its finest. I mean, right there.
Just the fact that this is, I think you can agree, no matter what team you're a fan of, no matter what players you root for, no matter how you feel about the New York Yankees or Domingo German, the only way in the game of baseball to win is to build momentum over time. That's why we see the Braves, powerhouse regular season team. Because, even right now, they've won 15 out of their last 16 games or something like that.
They've won 20 out of their last 22 or something like that.
They're a powerhouse because they keep the momentum rolling. And momentum is usually something built up over time. Like, oh, hey, we strung together 3 or 4 wins here. Yeah, sure, we took a loss, but it was a close loss. Let's snowball that momentum. Let's keep going. Let's get more wins here. But that's if you don't throw a perfect game. Domingo German throwing a perfect game, in theory, if that stays true, and the way that I see it, it should jolt that Yankee clubhouse. It should motivate, guys like Carlos Rodon, Aaron Judge, or hell, even though he played last night, Harrison Bader, to stay healthy, in his opinion. But for Judge and Rodon, be like, hey, I want to come back. There's extra motivation there. I'm going to work extra hard. I'm going to seek out all my options and do all that I can to get back out on the field, because I want to be a part of this. Yeah. I want to be a part of where this team is going, because last night that team looked special.
It did look very special. And Judge was there last night, so it's not like he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was there.
Not on the field.
Not playing, but he was there. I think like you said, motivation. The crazy motivation guys must get from this is crazy. And think about Domingo for his next starts. You know, David Wells in 1998, I believe it was, 1998 when he pitched his perfect game.
Oh, okay.
He was like the best pitcher in baseball after that. So the confidence booster that this is for that starting pitcher, you got to wonder if Domingo German's going to go out there next time. And, you know, I'm not saying he's going to throw another perfect game. I'm not saying he's going to throw a no-hitter. But, you know, go out there and just be dominant for the rest of the season.
I can only imagine the mental ego that can be developed on a pitcher being like, hey, I threw a fucking perfect game. There's no reason why I can't get this guy out.
Only 24 people in the history of the world can say that they've thrown a perfect game in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
At the highest level.
And Domingo German is now a part of that.
Yeah, 24. He's one of the 24.
Domingo German is now a part of perfect game echelon.
And this one is like...
cannot believe it.
This one's like, I want to say one of the craziest. I mean, giving up 17 earned runs in your last 2 starts. Getting suspended for sticky stuff earlier in the season to just to being perfect.
Yeah.
It's crazy looking at the box score and looking at, you know, all the different stats that come along with this perfect game. Just wild. Because in 2012, when Felix Hernandez threw his perfect game, you know, I was, 8? Like, I wasn't fully keen and aware of what was going on. Now I know just how crazy this is and how much to, like, truly appreciate it. And especially the fact that being grateful for the fact that I didn't fall asleep last night and I got to stay up and watch that game. And I was watching with my own eyes live when it happened. Just... it's crazy, and I'm so happy that it happened.
It's baseball history, no matter which way you spin it. No one, like, yes, there are obviously going to be a crowd of people that bring up Domingo German's past, which, whenever there's something to stand on, people always want to knock you down, which is completely understanding. That's the way that humans work, especially in sports, when there is so much opportunity to not let someone celebrate the moment, but... in all honesty, no matter what happened, Domingo German has righted the wrongs, and he's done everything that he can to apologize for what he's done in the past, and he's corrected himself. I think that, honestly, the baseball world just needs to come together and celebrate the fact that there was a perfect game. There are probably a lot of people right now who might not ever see another perfect game in their life. You know, there might be a lot of people who even their kids won't see a perfect game. With how good baseball is getting, yes, the pitchers are getting better, but the hitters are getting better. The umpires are getting better. You have to remember that, you know, to throw a perfect game, you got to throw balls in the strike zone. Domingo German showed you how important it was. You know, making guys swing and miss, and yes, it was against the Athletics, but it's still a perfect game. And let it be known.
9 strikeouts.
Yeah, 9 strikeouts. Let it be known, going into that 9th inning, right? I saw Yustri Ruiz was up 9th, up 3rd. In the order.
Last out.
For the last out. 50-50 odds. Genuinely thought that he was going to lay down a bunt single.
Nah. Can't do that. He doesn't... I don't think you want that bad rep. I really don't.
I agree with you, but it would not have surprised me.
Nah. He got it, legitimately.
He did.
I mean, it's just... It's wild. I mean, should have been the 25th. Can never forget about Galarraga.
Mm-hmm. And Scherzer, so 26th. Can I forget about those two?
But Domingo has done it. And, wow, what was I about to mention? Oh, first anything this season. There have been no hitters this season.
Yeah.
There have been no obvious... flirted with it. Yeah, flirting, but that's not getting it. And there have been no hitters, no perfect games, obviously. And now Domingo German has the first perfect game, and technically the first no-hitter, too. I mean, I'd say count it as a perfect game only. But that's just me. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Do we see another no-hitter this season? Because it's late June. It's almost July already. Mm-hmm. And this is the first no-hitter or perfect game we've seen all season. Obviously, we know they made the rule changes, pitch clock. This is the first perfect game and no-hitter in the pitch clock era, too.
Yeah.
They made all those changes, and we've seen a lot more offense than in previous years, you know. Remember in 2021, there were like 8 no-hitters. So... I don't know. we'll see what happens. But Domingo German, can we give one round of applause for Domingo German before we leave? That's all I got. That's all we got for today. We would just want everyone to appreciate that perfect game. We'll be back tomorrow talking about all the fun stuff that's going on. Not just, one thing. We'll be talking about everything. But if this is your first time watching us, we thank you. If you liked, make sure to like, subscribe, comment what you think about Domingo's perfect game. We want to hear you guys' takes.
I cannot believe
answering, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Domingo German. Domingo German. Domingo German.